97. Support below at 30, 21, 11, 4400, 44 even, and 92. Pivot 44, 42. Support 30, 21, 11, even, and 92. Resistance on the upside at 67. No, wait, I got 67. I also have 55 in there. Kind of jumped the gun there on that. 55, 67, 76, 83, 90, and 97. So 55, 42, and 55, 67, 76, 83, 90, 97, and then on support 30, 21, 11, 44 even, 92, and we'll have 82 on the downside as well. All right, a lot of volatility here, and you can see in the middle of the night rally here of about 50 S&P points or more. Now we're just hanging up here. I don't know what was said. Putin was commenting or saying things. Definitely said that he doesn't. I think he says he doesn't want war, but that's half the reason we're going down. Went down last week, and the other half of the reason we went down is because of the inflation numbers that were pretty bad. And you had a little flight to quality there with the bonds reacting to war possibilities. All that stuff is thrown into the mix here to have a kind of volatile week. Last couple of days here, week. So thanks again, Don, for hanging in there for me. Appreciate it. All right, back here. See what happens. It's a new week, new day. Everything is everything as it comes, right? We don't know which way markets are going to go. We just trade whatever the market gives us on any given day. We're trading mini S&Ps here, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the ebbs and flows of the market. And we're trying to find these inflection points, which I gave out the levels. We believe those areas will give us an opportunity to scalp the market in addition to price action opportunities as well. A combination of both of us gives us our opportunities to trade. And we're also looking for about 4 to 5 trades a day on average. And we focus more on the morning hours as well. So see what the day brings. All right, market is here, coming up here to, again, reacting to some news, obviously overnight. So we'll see where it wants to go from here. All right, thanks, Don, again. Thanks for levels. Thanks for chipping in for me. If you look at the chat box area, you will find the levels in there for you as we swiftly come up here to the 55 area. Okay, good. Coming up here to the 55 area now. And test this area for us. Great, awesome. Good to hear. That's why he's where he's at. All right, market continues to keep your stops in place no matter what. Right? We've talked about that many a time. Okay, it's popped up here again. The market is a little bit whipping around here this morning, especially with the things are still moving around very fast. So your stops got to be definitely about 4 or 5 points at this point. And trying to see if we can get a little bit of rotation against it. And also your scales have to be at a certain level so that you can, you know, not get caught in any kind of goofiness that happens. We never know when the markets are going to get extra volatility is going to be injected into the market or not. Seeing this 55 area here, got down to 52-ish. Trying to get a little bit of rotation. I would respect this, at least the pivot area. I mean, the blue band here, 51, 52 area. Take a little bit off of here and then see if we can get a little bit lower. All right, so nice. Again, it took a little bit of heat on there. The market was got up there and it popped a little bit higher, and then coming down here a little bit. Definitely giving it a chance to take some off the table. You have to respect the blue band there a little bit when it came back down around the 52 area. At least take a little bit off of that and see what it wants to do after that. All right. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. Next level on the upside we have is up at the 67 area. Market is very strong here. Kind of reacting to some, I think some probably the bullish news coming, I would assume had to do with the war situation, because there's, I mean, I'm guessing here. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll try to find out what created that little rotation to the upside overnight and then the continuation here. It says Russia said some troops are being pulled back from around Ukraine, a sign of potential de-escalation. Potential. So that's probably, like I said, probably why they were had that little rotation to the upside overnight. We'll see if it continues this morning or not. But like I said, one aspect of the push to the downside this week or last week was the Russia situation, and the other aspect was the inflation situation. That ain't going to go far fast. It's not going anywhere fast. The inflation situation. We shall see. We're just kind of hanging around the 55 area again. It gave us a chance to. You have to respect the blue band there, the 52 area, so take some off. Definitely give you a chance to scratch some if you don't like the price action prior to that. So we're just kind of hanging around this 55 area, trying to see where we are going next. All right, just kind of hanging around here. And this is where we suggested you cover some earlier. Really not doing anything right now. Flat support probably if you were looking for a little support around the 40 area or pivot. All right, so I'll just come and hang in here. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. Let me see if there's any numbers. Went out this morning. There's no numbers coming out this morning. So that's not too bad. The blue band here held very nicely. All right, seem to be going back and forth there. A little range that's created for itself. Holding our blue band area there. Next resistance on the upside is up at the 67 area. The federal investigators have commenced an investigation into block trading on Wall Street and are said to be looking into whether banks improperly tipped off hedge fund clients before large short sales. The SEC reportedly sent subpoenas to firms including Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. While the Justice Department is also investigating that matter. Wow, amazing. Who would have thought that they would share information like that? I can't understand why would anybody want to do that. Block trades are important businesses for Wall Street, as there were nearly $70 billion worth of them last year. That's 5-year high, according to some analysts who watches that stuff. The most active banks last year were Morgan Stanley, which scored more than a quarter of the deals ranked by value and earned upwards of $300 million in fees. It's amazing. They didn't call me. I wonder why. The latest probe is a part of a long-running investigation into stock transactions that are typically big enough to move markets. Regulators have been checking into similar irregularities since at least 2019, when SEC first requested records for big financial institutions. Once a block sale hits the market, or even hours before, the stock being offloaded tends to go down due to the increased share of supply that can give a opportunity to favored hedge funds that were alerted to come to the coming transaction as liquidity providers to make money on the short sale, in which an investor sells borrowed stock and buys it back at a lower price. Things get even more complicated. There's no definitive rules on how Wall Street firms can tell clients about upcoming block trades, as well as questions whether revealing such information or acting on it is in fact illegal. Really? Hmm. Who would have thunk it? I tell you, it's not even illegal. Okay, that's the funny part. They're investigating it. It's not even illegal. All right. European markets are getting a lift this morning from headlines out of Russia, where the country's defense minister announced the pullback of some forces after they completed the military drills nearing the border of Ukraine. Units of western and southern military districts will begin returning to their permanent bases, according to the Interfax news agency. U.S. stock futures indexes are riding the de-escalation sentiment, with contracts up before the market open, and gold down 3% to $92. Geez, $92. It was $87 before, $82 before I left. What the hell did you do, Don? Jeez. The news comes a day after the United States warned that long-range artillery and rocket launchers were moved into firing positions. Russian units were shifted into attack formation, and an invasion could essentially come at any time. The Kremlin has consistently denied plans of an attack, saying the movement of forces in its own territory are an internal matter. Russia is also continuing large drills in neighboring Belarus that are due to finish on February 20th. All right, we slipped up to the 62, 63 area-ish. We have 67 as our next resistance area. See what it wants to do up there. All right, just flopping back here to the 55. All right, coming quickly down here to our blue band area. Again, been there a few times, so gotta be a little bit careful. Again, support down at 44, which is our 42 area, which is our pivot. All right, resistance up at the 42 area, support at the 42 area, and they got up to 62, 63 area there and came off. So good support will be down at the first support level down at 30. Yeah, chopping around here a little bit. They kind of rejected. They got up to 63 and it's come flying off of it. So again, patience is important. So this is what happens when you have these politicians talking, adding to the confusion over the situation on the ground. The Ukrainian president yesterday, who had a career as a comedian before taking office, took to social media yesterday to say that February 16th will be the day of the attack. Apparently, a sarcastic remark triggered by the brief bout of selling, with the S&P sliding 1.2%. Before Zelensky's chief of staff explained that the remarks were taken, should be taken as irony. So market goes down 1.2% on his remark, which is what is that? 1.2%, about 50 S&P points. Before he finally says, "Oh, I was just joking." I love this place. Look, yeah, sometimes it's amazing. Amazing sometimes. That's why you got to keep your stops in place, because you got jokesters, comedians out there messing around with the market when we don't know about it. So that's why you keep your stops in place, just for that reason. All right, come over here to our blue band area. All right, nice rotation there against our blue band, if you were a blue bander. All right, things are kind of moving around. It's not that slow, but we are getting a couple opportunities here. But again, patience is very important. Thought that maybe pivot there would be support. We never got down to it. Now it's bouncing off of our blue band here. And again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box, please. All right. Continue a little sell off here, coming down here to our pivot here at 42. If you're looking for a place to jump in, I don't know. Getting a little bit of a scalping opportunity here. Otherwise, we're looking at 30 as our first support area that we have on the downside. Get 3 points here off of this quick little pop down to the pivot area. All right, we're getting a nice rotation there against our pivot there. We suggest a little buying opportunity in that spot. And nice little rotation here off of it. Our next support level we have is down at the 30 area. We're coming back up here to the blue band area. We are stuck here in a little bit of a range between our blue band and our pivots. I would not be trying to pivot this time around if you wanted last time. All right. Quickly rotating here off of our blue band there. So we were not going to touch the pivot again. We're looking at the 30 area as our next support level. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. You too there, Philip. Sorry about that. All right, Mark is chopping around here between our pivot and our blue band. Kind of tested each one twice there, so don't know if you need to try them again. I would not. All right, coming up here to our blue band again. Again, I would not be a little bit careful about playing this area this time around. Been up here 3 times already, maybe 4 even, 3 times. So be a little bit careful. All right. We are stuck on a little bit of a range here. Bonds rallying a little bit here. S&P's kind of breaking. See what that means, if anything. All right, we are stuck in a little bit of range here. Tested our pivot area there and coming off of it again. Very tough little range to get out of right now. All right, again, we're just kind of hanging around our blue band here. Again, with that kind of range bound, tough to get too excited about anything, so patience is important.